May I remind you that trading is risky and not suitable for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Welcome to QuantBox Daily. Today's Friday, March 17th. End of the week. How was your week? Did you have a good week? I hope your week was productive. I hope you didn't lose money this week. I hope you used the power of QuantBox to give you a fundamental bias in the market. And that helped you identify what direction you're looking to trade in. So you can verify that technically on your charts and avoid being sucked into price, right? Not being the cork in the ocean, but becoming the ocean. QuantBox helps you become the ocean. It gives you, and if you're new here, it gives you a whole bunch of amazing tools that are collated on a beautiful dashboard to give you a fundamental bias. A 1 week trial is $7.90, and I'll show you how we use it in this webinar now. So every single day we get together at this time and we discuss the market. We usually look at the market heat map, and that tells us which pairs are the most bullish and which pairs are the most bearish for the session. As you can see, currently we've got indices currently up. That's good for risk. So we expect a weak dollar and a weak yen. What we can do right now, though, is we can say, well, are we expecting a weak dollar? And of course, you'll know if you look at the dollar pairs over here, and I'll look at the separate tab over here, you'll know from the dollar pairs that dollar's supposed to be strong at the moment, right? So if you see a weak dollar, what you currently have is an opportunity of potentially looking for price to either get to resistance, in the case of your euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, Kiwi dollar, or price getting to support in terms of your dollar CAD, okay? This is a great opportunity. So we'll look at the market now. You can see Kiwi dollars up, Aussie USD. What else we got? We got some of our yens, pound dollar. We'll look at these in a moment. And then, of course, you got your bearish pairs. And if you look at your bearish pairs, we could then look for opportunities to buy these if they are overall bullish on your currency pairs over here. Sounds complicated. It's not complicated. It's very, very straightforward and simple. Simply take a pair, like, for example, Kiwi dollar over here. You can see it's bullish for the session. Go over here, look at Kiwi dollar, and you say to yourself, okay, Kiwi dollar is currently got a bias of, drum roll please, neutral. Okay, so you leave that alone because it's strong versus strong or weak versus weak. But if you take a look at, say, Aussie USD, which is currently up for the session, okay, very, very blue, then you look at that and say, well, what's my bias in Aussie USD? You'd say, well, strong sell. So then you could jump over to your charts and say, well, what am I doing with Aussie USD? Now, we've been looking at Aussie USD since the beginning of this week, and I said to you, we've been looking for price to come up to this resistance over here. However, I said to you, you want to make sure that price does not make a higher low before it does that, okay? Because that completely cancels the bearishness that you're looking at, okay? So if this went straight up to resistance, which we were looking for it to do, that would have been great, but it didn't. You can see price came up, price hit this resistance, price came down. Instead of making a lower low, price made a higher low, okay? Which means that this resistance now is kind of canceled, okay? It doesn't mean that Aussie USD isn't still bearish. It still is, but fundamentally, technically right now, things have changed. We looked at price yesterday and said to you, okay, so we were waiting for price to break down and pull back up to resistance. Price was at resistance yesterday morning. I was concerned about the higher low, okay? I said, be careful of that. However, price is at resistance, so you can take a look and see on the lower time frame charts. M15, you never got the lower low, lower high, okay? Not looking for a buy because fundamentally bearish, but you didn't get the lower low, lower high, right? So currently, you're at a very interesting level. You got this higher low over here. To me, that tells me that there's some issues here. But here's the beautiful thing, friends. You could look at this and say, okay, fine. Well, I don't expect this to be bearish. But if this candle closes at resistance, maybe we could consolidate over here for a while. All kinds of good things can happen here. We could change the structure by price consolidating, then breaking up, pulling back for a sell. Okay. Ultimately, if price does close this resistance, you'll know it's bearish if you get the lower low, lower high. 21 crosses the 55 down on the M15 time frame. Okay. And you can exercise your bearish bias. Of course, you are currently at levels where you'd expect to see bearishness. You can see you got your weekly R1, you're above a daily profit taking zone, okay? That could be where you expect that to happen. Of course, and you can see also you've come back up to the bottom of this range, which is the same as that daily range, right? What's interesting is you can see that price has actually broken through this resistance left-hand side, okay? Which is the problem for you, all right? This is not looking bearish at the moment. However, be aware of the fact that we've had situations before where price didn't look bearish and then suddenly price came down. So maintain your bias as per QuantBox. Nothing's changed. Go look at QuantBox. You can see what has changed, right? You can see that from an Aussie perspective, inflation 7.8. Is that a target for the RBA? The USD 6%. Is that a target for the Fed? Okay. We can see inflation coming down. We can see inflation going up in Australia. So how's the RBA going to respond to that? Okay. GDP growth both coming down in both those countries. Okay. How's the individual central bank going to respond to that? Right. How's the Fed going to respond to shrinking GDP growth in the face of higher inflation when they need to look to increase interest rates based on the economy not doing so well? Okay. Use this information in your analysis of fundamental banks. But in the meantime, if that's too complicated for you, and if you haven't got the time for that, right now, Aussie USD is still a strong sell. Look at your details on the left-hand side of here. COT data, that's investment. Those are proper professional traders, right? Non-hedge funds. Claiming tax on their trades. COT data. Currently -2. That means that institutional traders are currently bearish on the Aussie USD. Okay. Of course, there are times when price isn't going to be bearish. Price has to come up to resistance. Okay. We are very low. I still mentioned a while back saying we have not touched the bottom of that range. I expect price to come back up at some point in time. Maybe now's that time. Okay. You can see how bearish we were before. Up we went. Of course, though, buying this at the time, if it was in line with the bias, totally fine. But right now, your bias is bearish. You're currently at resistance almost. Wait for this candle to close, and you'll see on lower time frames, if you made a higher low before price close resistance, don't just snap in and get the sell. Make sure you verify things lower time frame. Okay. So looking at the rest of the dollar pairs, let's go through it. So euro dollar strong sell, pound dollar sell, USD CAD strong buy, and then Kiwi dollar is neutral. So let's go through our pairs. Okay. So we're dollar bulls at the moment. Excuse me. Euro dollar stuck inside the range. Price came back down. I still said be careful. If price is broken out and pulled back, chances are we're going to hit up higher. However, the bias is bearish. Not much you can do with that. Okay, got to leave that alone. You can see they're still, stuck in the range. Okay, cool. Not much you can do with bearishness over here. In terms of pound dollar, also same story. Okay, price come down, price come back up, back inside the range. Okay, I still said to you, we trapped price inside this range over here. When price broke out, it didn't pull back to resistance. Price can come all the way back up, and there we are, back up. Would you have bought it down here? No. Why? Because the fundamental bias is bearish. So you can wait for resistance. Has this candle closed the resistance? Well, it kind of has. Okay. Let's say you were really keen on selling. That's okay. Look at this candle over here. The M15 time frame. Does that say bearish? No, it doesn't. Easy. Easy peasy, Japanesey. Look for this to break down, pull back, sell. Until then, it's not bearish. Can't exercise the fundamental bias of bearish, right? Let's look at the rest of the pairs on the dollar side. So we got, let's take a look and see. We got Kiwi dollar, which is neutral. We leave Kiwi dollar alone. We don't want to trade neutral. Strong against strong, weak against weak. Strong against strong, weak against weak. Not our friend. Over here for the buy, you can see that we were at support over here a few days ago. Okay. Did you verify that lower time frame? Let's take a look and see. Did you get a higher high? Look how you didn't get a higher high. Look how price breaks out of this resistance. Doesn't pull back to support. Look at there's no pull back to the 21 EMA. You got to pull back over here. But notice how it didn't pull back to roll reversal. Just pulled back to 21 moving average. I always like to use roll reversals. Okay. If you got into a scalp there, fantastic. You're in the daily buy zone, took profit at the R2, hundreds. No problem at all. Okay. Right now, though, you can see that price came down, price came up, failed to make a higher high. Price now coming back down to support. Okay. This over here is not, it's the same as Aussie USD, right? This is not singing a beautiful bullish, like Aussie USD isn't singing a beautiful bearish song. This is not singing a beautiful bullish song. Okay. If you want to exercise your bias, wait for better bullish opportunities. Taking a look at our yen pairs, right? So we got yen over here. So indices are up. So risk on, what we can see, dollar is currently weak. Looking at the yen pairs, we can see that we haven't really got yen pairs in our top area. We got some yen up there, Aussie yen up there. We got euro yen, but not massive gainers. In terms of the yen pairs, not really in the bottom section. So where's our yen pairs sitting? Well, I could go and look at all my charts on the yen pairs, or I could just have a look at my score chart summary and just have a look and see, like, where are my yen pairs sitting? Well, there's one, euro yen's neutral. There's one, Kiwi yen's neutral. There's one, Aussie yen is a sell. Okay, cool. So going back to my, let's look at like this. Let's go like this. Let's do score chart summary on the right-hand side. Let's do market heat map over here. So we saw Aussie yen currently up for the session. And we can see Aussie yen over here is bearish in terms of points, right? These points are worked out based on a whole bunch of data. Now, you can see COT data, retail sentiment is currently neutral. But you've got some other data that comes through as -3, okay? Let's have a look and see if Aussie yen is moving beautifully. It's a sell, it's bearish, fundamentally, currently up for the session. So technically, and fundamentally, we should have price, well, technically, we should have price coming to resistance where we can sell. Let's have a look. Aussie yen. Aussie yen, let's take a look. Aussie yen over here, you can see the bottom of the range. Okay, very neutral. Bottom of the range, currently up, coming off the bottom. I spoke about this yesterday. I said price is coming out at the bottom of the range. I still said to you, price breaks this resistance. This resistance became support yesterday. Be careful. Don't sell. Don't make a lower low. Don't sell 21 EMA. Stop selling this. And you can see the bottom of the range price coming up. Okay. Are you going to buy? No, because Aussie yen is bearish. The rest of your yen pairs, Euro yen is neutral. Pound yen is neutral. Kiwi yen is neutral. Where's my CAD yen at? CAD yen is a sell. So CAD yen on the market heat map, let's have a look and see. It's coming through CAD yen. Where are you, my CAD yen? My beautiful darling CAD. Not even coming up on the... Oh, there we go. CAD yen, bearish. All right, cool. CAD yen, bearish. And CAD yen, much more of a sell than Aussie yen. Let's have a look at CAD yen. Do we technically have an opportunity for this? Let's take a look. CAD yen. Nope. Bottom of the range. Like if you're going to trade a range, sell at the top. Or wait for the breakup, pullback, sell. But don't trade in the middle, no man's land, right? Pigs get slaughtered. How are our Swissies looking? Let's have a look and see here. Swissies, neutral Kiwi Swissy, neutral dollar Swissy, neutral Aussie Swissy, neutral pound Swissy. Okay, there's Euro Swissy, and CAD Swissy. Both sells. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at Euro Swissy. Have I got an opportunity to sell Euro Swissy? And the answer is no. Price pull back inside the range. Okay. How about CAD Swissy? Can I sell CAD Swissy? The answer is, well, interesting. Price has pulled back to the bottom of the range. Maybe. Okay. Maybe I do have an opportunity to sell Euro CAD Swissy. Let's take a look. What does my M15 say currently? Okay. M15 is currently at a 21 EMA. So what you're going to do is you're going to wait for this to close. Once this is closed, you're going to go into your M5 charts. You're going to confirm that M5 is bearish. Okay. I.e. not making higher highs and higher lows. This is a concern for you. And on M1, it's higher highs and higher lows. M1, you can see M1 is currently bullish. You need M1 to form a lower low, lower high. Just verify your time frames like that. It makes it so much more straightforward, so much easier. Okay. But there might be a potential trade there for you. Interesting thing is that we were here yesterday at the bottom of this range. And between the whole of yesterday, price closing there on the 15th, the whole of yesterday and where we are today, like that's the level of bearishness. Okay, cool. Well, maybe we'll consolidate it before we come down. Okay, very possible. Have a look and see. One thing to pay attention to, though, is that when price came down here, did price close at support? Okay. Having said that, though, if you can verify this is bearish on all time frames from M15, M5, and 1, take a shot. Just recognize the fact that you must confirm bearishness across all time frames. Okay. On H1, yeah. Okay. Alrighty then. What else we got? Let's take a look. So our strong buy is Kiwi CAD. Let's have a look at Kiwi CAD quickly. Kiwi CAD. What do we got? Kiwi CAD coming through strong buy. No. Completely out of position. Price came at the top of the range over here. I think we spoke about this. Yeah, we did. We outlined that a few days ago. Okay. If you got into that, and you would have got into that off of the higher high, higher low. There it is over there. Beautiful. That's trade we discussed a few days ago. Cool. Let's look and see. Kiwi CAD. Let's look at Kiwi CAD. Kiwi CAD. That is Kiwi CAD. Whoa, hold on a second. Just changed. Okay, you can see how this updates regularly, right? You can see how it continues to update. Kiwi CAD. Let's look and see. USD ZAR. USD ZAR. USD ZAR. No, I'm not going to buy that. Completely out of position. We're going to buy top of the range. Not interested. Let's go. Top sell. We looked at Aussie USD. Let's take a look at Aussie Kiwi. Last one. Aussie Kiwi. Sell. You are completely out of position for a sell. No ways, Jose's. Also, price broke their resistance, consolidating. No. But you can see, so right now the markets, from a volatility perspective, are not amazing. Well, there's a lot going on right now, a lot going on right now, especially with banks in the world around us, right? So based on all that, the technicals aren't shouting high volatility, but that doesn't mean that this tool is not useful. It's beautiful, because the thing is, look how much time you save. You're not opening a chart and going, oh, I don't know, what do I do with this? Should I buy? Should I sell? Where am I? Is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? What should I do? This is so stunning. Look at how you save so much time in terms of like ignoring all the neutral. But you could make a note of the fact that the neutral has gone into bullish or bearish afterwards. That means that we potentially broke out of a range. Okay. All your sells, all your buys, come back to this at every market open. Have a look and see what's changed. Use your market heat map, like I've just done this beginning of the session. Of course, you can dig in much deeper. Okay. You could look at this beautiful output summary over here, upcoming news, sentiment. Okay. Beautiful stuff over here. What's going up? What's going down? Okay. How things are changing. You can see like we now have 1.66% fewer traders who are long USD. We have 0.32% more traders that are long euro. Now, of course, these are sophisticated traders. They're from the COT data. Okay, it's not just pulled out of some random number, somewhere. It's based on institutional traders that currently pay tax on their positions and are forced to report their positions. Okay, COT data. You could break down your seasonality as well completely. I like being simple, though. I like to look at this over here and say, well, okay, you've collated everything for me. You've given everything to me. I've got a strong sell. Look onto euro dollar and say, okay, euro dollar, what are you telling me technically? Technically, you're telling me you're sideways. Okay, can't tell you right now. But maybe when this candle closes at resistance, I get a chance. Just that now is a time for being patient and being disciplined and remaining liquid. But without a tool like this, you look at a chart like euro dollar and you think to yourself, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? It's sideways. Should I buy? Should I sell? What should I do? Should I trade both? Like with QuantBox, you're like, okay, I'm a bear. So is it bearish right now? Can I sell right now? Isn't that beautiful? Very powerful tool, friends. Definitely recommend you check it out. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I look forward to seeing you fine human beings on Monday. Remember, stay patient, stay disciplined, stay liquid. All the best. Ta-ta.